evening, free enterprise, and welcome to Highway to the 3 Zone, qualifier number 13. I am Bad Karma. I am joined in the booth by Araya on his making his commentary debut. We've got FF4FE who rolled a fine seed for us here in front of us. Tracker Scythe Marshall, and Araya, how are you feeling for your first time out?
Pretty good. I'm excited to get started with this one. Looks like we got a Kane start. Kane's probably one of my least favorite to start with.
Yeah, Kane is a very tricky one to start with, just because he's fast. He gets those levels. He's gonna betray us at some point. And look at these objectives that we've got though. This is looking really interesting.
So raise the whale, and conquer Vanilla Mess or Murasame. Oh, interesting. So those kind of lead right into each other.
Yeah, we are looking at 3 of our 5 objectives gated by the Darkness Crystal.
Yeah.
This is if I'm running this and I see this set of objectives, I am stressing it for sure, because this is find that darkness and go.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of ways around a jet seat at this point, right? Because even if you have to go down the same rabbit hole to find the Darkness Crystal, once you get there, you're pretty much probably done.
Yeah, granted, we still do have to forge or find Wyvern. Wyvern could be hidden somewhere else, but we've got a Kane, which everybody likes a good berserker. We're going to be seeing a whole lot of Kane, and hopefully no Tellas. We're not going to see Fu, as you see on Slayers' screen doing the names. Fu is blanked out because he only wants to be the hero, never the sidekick.
Selfish, really, if you think about it.
I mean, I got a feeling that most Lunarians are.
Yeah, I'd say so. Look at all that space he had himself up on the moon.
I mean, I only know of 2 of them. The rest of them we know are half Lunarians.
True, and they were sent away. Sent packing.
Yeah, I mean, well, one of them kind of made it, but still.
So who are you hoping for a starting pair with Kane? Think we get the reverse vanilla?
Oh man, I don't think we've seen reverse vanilla in a while. I selfishly as a runner, I want to see that Rosa. Rosa pairs really well with Kane, especially early game.
Yeah, sure.
Up here in the booth, give him an Eddie. Let's see how they handle that.
Oh no, that's mean. Eddie.
No, Eddie's got his uses. He can do some fun stuff. You find a dancing dagger, very common item in the overworld. Eddie can carry your overworld.
How about a Porum?
I mean, the other white mage. It's still a white mage.
It's still a white mage, but it's a little harder, a little squishier.
Fine, we'll go with the ultimate mage of Yang.
Oh yeah, punch mage, best mage.
There we go.
I actually like Yang a lot in this flag set.
Yang is great if you can get him those levels.
Oh, nailed it.
Haha. Oh! Yep. I'm gonna say it now. I am real glad I am not racing this one.
So you go straight underground, or you do some of your overworld stuff first?
I'm a straight underground person myself. The loot in the underground is definitely a little bit better. You got Tamra is free. You got Fey March. There's a ton of chests if you can avoid that one trap. Scope out the shops, see if there's anything that you want to buy. Free key items down there. Definitely, I'm an underground person myself.
Okay, that's fair. So if you go straight underground, do you loot the walk to Fey March or no?
I do, and especially if that's my first check. It's only one trap. Even if you get it on like your second to last one, it's only like a minute to get back down there.
Yeah, Cecil's in the end.
That's a good pickup. That's you definitely like to see it. He's Cecil really strong in this flag set, even with the Holy Swords being moved to tier 8. So definitely gonna be a little bit with a black sword that Solaris just found.
Yeah, he went straight to Dwarf Castle. It's It's braver than I ever am. I'll say that much.
Yeah, Evelyn is really nice. It's got a lot of chests. It has 3 traps, as you know, as a lot of us know here up when we run, and you just reset out of them this early. You just got to make a note where they are.
Kedril looted something I haven't seen people loot in a long time, which is the back of Baron Town, and got a dancing dagger out of it.
That's a huge pickup because dancing daggers are not cheap. And I guess Berserk Now and Chad's saying a Thunderclaw as well.
Alright, let's see what's in this walk underground. Yep, Thunderclaw. Oh, there's the monster chest.
Yeah, finding that monster chest early is great, especially
So nice.
when you can just avoid it, go the rest of your looting, and everything looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're in the highway to the Zemus Zone 4. What's your general? Where do you like to go looting first? You know, when you run these.
I actually like to go to Damsian. I know it's not as popular anymore, especially since you don't always have to launch the craft. But I feel like I find a lot of silk webs there. Fairly decent chance of finding a cursed ring, and it lets you kind of do the Hobbs check early. So if you do find something like Catella that has exit, you can check some of your deeper options a little more thoroughly and still exit out without wasting too much time.
Yeah, I typically will do Damsian if I come up real short on my early looting, whether it's Fey March or Ebon Castle or something like that. But wanted to point out on Ceridan's on Hobbs. We've got a Mylon Z up there with another white mage.
Yeah. This is shaping up to be a fun seed so far.
Absolutely, and you can do so much with this Rosa, especially against this Mylon Z. Mylon is flying, so can take advantage to some of these spear weaknesses, bow weaknesses. They can make this a pretty easy fight.
So he's going with the front Rosa.
Well, she is, just gonna go in whatever that spot is. And welcome, Possum Morpheus, with the raid. Thank you for joining us here.
Hey, Possum. How's it going?
Ooh, did you see that Fey March?
I did not. Who's down there?
That was a Dark Elf in the Leviathan spot. Not too terrible, but Golbez in the Asura spot. So I doubt we're coming back here ever.
I doubt it. That's actually really nice to mark off on your tracker, though, because you can pretty much face check the rest of the stuff without having stutter and be like, oh, do I have to piggy up first?
Yep, and Lord Goober, we definitely did have a starting magma key. Kane is our hero, who comes with a Porum, and then we found Rosa on the top of Mount Hobbs. So 4 runners, we got some divergence. Looks like Solaris is going to be joining Ryben underground. Kedril and Ceridan are both doing wanting to get that Rosa on Mount Hobbs. So we'll see where they want to go. I'm personally one of those runners who likes to hit that Hobbs and then go to Antlion. Others, will fade Antlion, but they're also better than me. So
Yeah, I think Ryban got a coffin, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
he's getting a nice early level boost real quick.
This is gonna make Ryben's trip through the overworld so fast. Those early faster. 12 levels are gonna be great.
Yeah. And actually, Porum herself has exit now, so I know that they picked up one on the way out, but now they'll have more castings of exit in case they do want to take some of their deep checks.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got a heroin robe sighting. This Rosa is going to be shooting arrows with abandon.
You put it on the Rosa? You don't put it on the Murder Child?
Oh, if you've got both of them, you let Porum do her due diligence in the healing and let Rosa do the shooting.
But the memes.
Hey, Murder Child's got her place. Don't get me wrong. But when you got the warrior princess, you let the warrior princess go.
She does shine pretty brightly.
aim is just so good. So good. Alright, so we got Saradin going to Fabul, doing the Fabul defense. Fade and Antlion, which is, you know, again, good, could be bad. We don't know what's there yet. One thing to note, the Feymarch freebie was a rat tail, so a hook away for another check too. That's a pretty nice pickup. It is a key item, so you never want to have a key item that was free be a bonk like that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really curious to see where people go from here because they have so much open to do. It's we could see a lot of divergence, which would be nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that our runners could go. You know, you could do your traditional overworld checks, you know, kind of chug through them. Rybin, the world is Rybin's oyster right now. Could go and get that Dark Knight Cecil and clear out those early Baron Inn checks. You know,
especially since they did the one egg.
Right. And it'll be interesting to see if any of our other runners do, because we are in these early stages. There's a lot of thorough looting going on. So I do like that early coffin play. Get those levels. Make your overworld easy.
When's the point where you're like, all right, enough's enough, I'm stopping looting? Because I always overloot without fail.
That is definitely a very character specific. So we do have a number of characters who, you know, don't need a lot of loot. They can still have their power without it, or maybe just like with one piece. You know, we're seeing Rybin here throwing a sorcerer robe and a rune ring onto Porum. That's good enough for a black mage to, you know, have a hefty boost in spell power. Moleboy, it's Dark Knight Cecil right now, sitting in Baron Inn, and so. This flag set in particular, with no J items in the shops, you're only finding them in these chests.
Yeah.
We started to see people loot a little bit more, but I like to feel. I typically, me personally, I just hit a point where I'm like, I'm comfortable. I need to stop looting because I'm a loot goblin. Even when I say that, I'm gonna keep looting.
So do I. Because I can't help myself. Using the Stardust he got on his way out of Feymarch. I'll speed this up a little bit.
Yeah, even with these extra levels, I mean, we're seeing these guards go down a lot faster for Rybin than Saradin. Saradin hasn't gone and done underground yet, so hasn't found some of the same items. Didn't clear the egg out, so is having a little bit of a slog. This is still pretty free. Saradin's going to get through it. It's just going to be a little slower.
Yeah, it's a little longer.
But it is going to get through it.
Alright, what's the king got for us? Earth Crystal.
Earth Crystal's a nice pickup.
Pretty early in the seed too, so you probably loot that treasury.
Oh yeah, especially if you can pull White Spear, Defense Sword out of there. Tons of good stuff that can be in that treasury that really will bring this party online.
And a tower key from Sheila 1. I'm just going to go ahead and pre-rate the treasury. It's going to be a 6.
Ooh, also free rating with a 6 on a T-Pro treasury.
They're going to hit all the weapons for people that aren't in the party.
Yeah, we've got chat looking for the crystal sword, looking for the X-Scal. We've already got a crystal armor.
Ooh, cabins, those are nice.
Ali, Earth Crystal is from Fabul Defense.
Oh, we got a Dwarf Castle check. It is a sparkle.
Ooh, may have reset a little early on that.
Yeah, I think they realized it's a sparkle. I should check it. Oh no, they're just gonna go shop in the castle. Check out the dwarves' fine goods.
Doing a little bit more looting. I like the Dwarf Castle loop. These 3 chests right here have yielded, I don't know how many times I've gotten a crystal ring, a dwarf axe, a silk web, a number of things that I was like, I need something. Oh, it's right there, one of those 3 pots.
Oh, we got Raybon finally getting up to Hobbs, grabbing his Rosa. probably excited to see that. And taken care of very quickly with that leveled up cane.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give that treasury from Ceradan probably about a 5.5. I can't match you on the 6.
That's fair. I completely missed it, so I'll catch the next one.
Yeah, it looks like 2 heroine robes is the highlight. Chat disagreeing. We've already got 1 heroine robe. I mean, not everybody's got 2, 1, but there was 1 available.
It does sell for a good bit, though.
Absolutely. That's the thing.
I was reviewing my inventory and seeing I have a bunch of high-priced items before I've gone to the forge, and like, ooh, yeah, this is my time.
So we've got Ryben going to be heading down to Antlion. This is a nice, easy check. Early boss in the game for our runners. Ceradan's going to be joining him.
Mm-hmm. Have we checked this yet?
Nope, this will be our first time. So Ryben's going to give us our first look. This is going to be probably a blink and you miss it. Oh, it's dulls.
There's a black belt in one of the chests, too. That'll be nice for Kane.
Yeah, I've actually been adding Antlion Cave into my looting if I'm there early on. It is surprisingly, I've been pulling at least 1 decent item out of there. I'm not full looting it myself, but I'm usually getting 1 good thing.
Yep, we see the efficiency of the Stardust on those dolls, and we get a Twin Harp for it. So we will probably be having music inbound.
It is early. There's everybody loves the music check. It is kind of a longer check. Nobody wants to listen to a Dark Elf talk that much, but
yeah. But their options right now are basically what we've got: Earth Crystal, so we can do Zot, we can do Tower, but maybe it's a little early for that, and we can do Ordeals, I guess, right?
Yep, and Baron Inn as well. We do know 1 of those boss fights in the Baron Inn. We don't know the second one. We are still on a boss hunt, looking for that Demus, looking for that Wyvern. So we do want to try and get these bosses figured out. So high density boss spots. Earth Crystals 2, Ordeals is 3.
I like Ordeals in this particular seed too, because we already see Cecil down there in Baron Inn. So we're probably going to want to clear that out anyway. And checking the 3 bosses with it, that just means Darkness Crystals, your go mode.
Yeah, can you imagine that Darkness Crystal showing up right after those 3 bosses, one of them being Wyvern?
Oof. I'd panic. Instantly panic.
I think a number of runners would. I saw Demus flash up on the screen. It's like, oh, we found oh wait, no, that was Grimoire.
It's hard getting stuck in that spot too, right? Oh, we got some inventory boss going on. Unfortunate. I am a slow reader, so this one always gets me.
Yeah, and it looks like Ryben hasn't done a sort on his inventory, so he's got 2 stacks of life potions sitting there that's taking up space. So
yeah,
inventory management gets everybody. So it's definitely an underappreciated aspect of free enterprise.
Oh, we got another one on Ceradan.
That's to answer your question, that's around the time when I feel like I've looted enough. The first time I run into the inventory boss, I was like, I think I've maybe enough
for a little bit.
Oh, this is a really interesting play with Ryben. He's got that egg level, and he's going right up the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, this is interesting to me. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to do, but I feel like for me, I'd probably drop a save outside of the town and maybe go do Twin Heart, just so that if I'm in the area, I don't have to fly back over. Because this is going to take you straight back over to Baron, so you're still losing flight time if you want to go clear Twin Harp after this.
It could also be possible Ryben is just fading Twin Harp.
Also true.
Yeah, we do only need to do 4
or 5.
check
for 1 boss.
Yeah. Only need 4 out of 5 objectives if you are new to this. So could find the Forge without needing to defeat Wyvern. With 3 of our objectives on the moon, I'm pretty sure we're going to be clearing cave value. We got the Mom Bomb over here for Sheridan. Is this the first fight in Baronin or second fight, it looks like?
I couldn't tell you. I got some people in chat making me blush. I feel like I'm getting some fans here flirting with me, so.
It does seem like it. Our tracker Scythe Marshal. Hey, there's our Wyvern.
Wow. What a play.
Ryben making the early play. So Ryben is Darkness Crystal away from go mode.
If Darkness actually comes from Zot, it's going to be such a panic seed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's at least it's 2 characters. It's gonna help round this party out depending on who they are, unless they're both dupes. But this is in the Magus Sister spot. So granted, we do have the Earth Crystal, so runners could come right up here following Ryben, but I believe Ryben was the only one who cracked an egg.
I think so far that we've seen on stream, yeah, you're correct.
This is a lot of health to shoot through, though.
Yeah, definitely a lot of health, but they should be through it soon enough, I think.
Yeah, Sheridan is on the second fight here in Baronin. We'll see if he can get through the worst fight in the game, hands down.
Ooh, Protect Ring. That's a nice score. Oh, that was from the Treasury. Okay.
Yeah, and I saw Solaris found a ninja hat somewhere as well, so we can have some really speedy characters.
Yeah, they're getting some decent equipment so far. We're still missing like a really quality weapon for Kane. I think most of them are using the Poison Axe at this point, right?
Yeah, there was a Poison Axe for sale in one of the shops in the underground. I know Ryben sold a couple things to get that. So yeah, we are still looking for, at least a Gungnir to feel kind of comfy, unless you don't want Kane to hit things at all, and you're just going to curse him later.
Poor Sheridan strikes out on the Grimoire like we all do. Gets a Chocobo. Good enough to eliminate one.
Sometimes that's all you need. So, Ryben, first one on the board, objective 1 completed, defeat Wyvern from the Magus Sister spot. Let's see who's going to be waiting for us up here. Who's going to be waiting in that second spot in Dwarf Castle?
It's got to be at least one dupe, right?
Boo!
So D Machine's online. That was a blue robe that shot him back, right? So
it was
potentially Gauntlet at a Dwarf Castle.
Gauntlet or Water Hag.
But we're all hoping for Gauntlet, right?
Oh, we are absolutely hoping for Gauntlet. That Gauntlet at the second half of Dwarf Castle, if you don't have a good AoE spell, that's going to be a little spicy.
Yeah. And so far, it doesn't look like we have any. Well, I guess the best we have is Earth Hammer.
Sheridan made it through and found Legend Sword.
Legend Sword out of the inn. Nice.
My apologies. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no. You're good. I was just commenting on the Earth Hammer. I don't think it's enough to one-shot the mobs down there in Dwarf Castle, but still not bad AoE clear if you don't have a Palom.
Yeah, it's not quite there yet, but it's definitely. Kedril found a Silk Web. That's a huge pickup.
Possum calling out the 1200 strats. We don't talk about that here. Possum, get out of here. Who let you in? Get away from my buttons.
He just walked in too. Like he just showed up.
So yeah, elements in fight 2 of Zot.
Yeah, not terrible. Can be a little speedy, a little punchy, so you do want to try and get this Ruby knocked out.
Yeah, just get this leg phase down.
Until it doesn't have his spells. Ooh, look at here. We got a CPU in the changing room for our hero to take down.
Looks like we're headed up ordeals.
dueling
like
Kanatsu fights. Yep. So 3 of our runners converging on ordeals, wanting to get that hero, looking for the wyvern. Looks like Ryben is gonna clear Zot here shortly. Just needs to get through this last phase of the elements fight. We'll see what are these key items. We got a spoon out of ordeals. So what's coming out of Zot?
Good question. It's one less not darkness crystal to worry about.
So I know we were saying earlier, early darkness, panic inducing. Here's what I'm hoping for: D-Mist holding darkness at the King Queen spot.
Just the worst possible timeline.
With a long chain to get that hook.
You are cruel, and I'm sure Twitch chat appreciates it. And none of the runners do. Asuka, bury the darkness crystal.
Oh my goodness!
Did it really? The play. Zot was the play.
Ivan with the big brain play here. So he still has to do ordeals.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get Tella to weak. I think you also probably want to go grab that Cecil.
Yeah, I believe they checked it earlier in the seed, right? They know?
No, because Ryben went immediately underground.
Straight underground.
So may not check Baron in. You are right.
We'll have to wait and see. I do believe they have a lightsaber, at least for Cecil right now. So it'd still be a nice pickup to get.
So yeah, so now we got the rest of these runners. With what we've got, they've got Harp on the table, they've got Zot, they've got full underground with a tower key.
I can't imagine that most of them are too far away from checking the Earth Crystal, though, because they're going to want the 2 extra characters to fill out their party. So I think we're going to see a lot more people in Go mode pretty soon.
I'd agree with that. I think you get a lot of success by doing this transition. If our runners haven't yet, might be thinking, hey, let's go crack this egg with this Rosa in the party now. Get this Cecil online.
Yeah, for sure. So this really is going to be your definition of a jet seed. I'm wondering how fast we'll have our earliest finishers clocking in at our top 6.
Oh yeah, and if you've been following along, the runners we have here on screen, all very good runners. They've been posting excellent times in these qualifiers. Ryben, I believe, currently is a former Pink Puff, and I think is in the top 20.
Yeah, I actually haven't been following up on the standings very much, so I don't know where everybody's sitting right now, but I'd imagine that all these people are in the mix. So it'll be an exciting race to watch for sure.
Yeah, this is going to come down to how efficient can you do your grind.
Do you take any extra checks to see if Adamant's somewhere? Maybe like an EXP boss check and hope that it's Adamant?
Ryben's about to have 8 key items. It's tough. 7 key items. I can't count.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to have to get their grind online before they get to 10 key items. I mean, you get in that kind of 7, 8, 9 gray zone where it's like, do I just keep on pushing encounters to try and get key items, or do I just say, well, I have Tella and I have the whale, I'm going to go straight into the D machine and get my money, get my XP, and get out of there?
Yep. Being the first one into the D machine doesn't necessarily mean that you're the fastest one through the D machine.
Right.
If other runners have done some other checks, we've got a Legend Sword already. we've got a lot of key items already. If you get to 10, you've immediately cut how long you're going to spend a D machine in half.
For sure. And I will say this much at least, as much as the D machine takes longer without having the life glitch online, it is a little bit easier to get it done because you're not concerned with trying to throw in those double lives at the right moment for the rotation. So it does help you out a little bit there.
It definitely makes it a little bit more consistent in that regard. Get that rhythm going, because that's really important with the D machine. Getting the rhythm, and getting the feel for the flow of the fight, getting the flow of the fight. Words are hard. All right, so Ryben, go mode. We've got Solaris went to the underground, cracked an egg. And Possum, thank you for posting that. We've got in the current standings, you need to be in the top 64 to move on in this event. So we've got Solaris is actually our 5th overall ranked person right now. Ryben is 19th, Saradin is 33rd, and Kedril is 76. So there's 2 more races after tonight. There's still a lot of room that can be made up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, nothing's solidified, I think, in the standings right now. There's still a lot of room for either improving your score if you're already in the mix, or getting yourself back into it with these last few races.
Yeah, an interesting check going on. Solaris has given us the harp check.
Oh, so we're gonna get some music here. It'll be fun. It's not the right play, unfortunately, but it'll be fun.
If this is a key item and Solaris does Zot right after, he'll be in 9 key items.
That's almost... I don't know if I want that or not. That's so hard when you're at 9 and you're like, I have my grind available, but do I just check one more thing?
Yeah, and Saradin is heading up the Tower of Zot.
It's like Ryben's headed to the moon. Probably gonna get the character check before he does the grind. Who'd you be hoping for on the moon with this party?
With this party, that duplicate Cecil, because Ryben didn't go to the Baron Inn.
Oh, that's right. You are correct.
And that's going to be a slingshotted Cecil. That could be a slingshotted Black Mage, though.
Ah, it's Rydia.
That's okay. That's a little spicier. As much as our restreamer Aliska424 is not happy to see that with the all caps UG. As a runner, I'm really happy to see that.
Definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Rybon just absolutely fades the Baron Inn at this point.
What would be really interesting is
so we see him taking the crystal back, not going directly to the giant. So maybe there are other checks in mind. Looks like we got Rubikins.
Okay, who called the Crystal Sword Flame Dog? I know I saw it in chat somewhere.
Did someone actually get the call?
Oh yeah. Saradin just pulled Crystal Sword out of the Flame Dog chest in the Tower of Zot. Has the Cecil.
That's I mean, that's a Z fight right there. Got power couple with the Crystal Sword. Already done, though. Just need the levels.
Don't even need that many levels either.
Yeah.
So we got Ryben is doing the can't run manipulation instead of going into the giant doing the manipulation there. So that's why we're watching Ryben count his steps outside of Mysidia. What he's doing, he's trying to manipulate the fights within the giant Babel to make the next fight the D Machine fight. We've got Solaris just finished up the harp check. Kedril is falling right behind him though, going to be doing repeat rendition. Saradin's finding this Wyvern, and if he keeps going, he's going to be finding his go mode.
This is interesting. I didn't realize you could do the manipulation outside of the city. I thought it had to be outside of Baron Castle.
The reason why it was for Baron Castle is because we couldn't actually run from the fights, so it was just a lot quicker to clear those fights instead of anywhere else.
Very smart. Looks like Saradin is getting ready to wrap up their Zot run, going into boss battle 2. Alright, we're gonna have music here again. I'll let y'all have the music this time. I apologize. That was my fault. My bad.
I did it too. I totally missed it. But we can get this other rendition of Diddy Kong Racing here in a little bit.
Yeah, give the people what they want. Asuka's saying, no, talk through it.
We got a few more seconds though. So I mean, so the interesting thing is Saradin has not gone underground yet.
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't have the rat tail. So not going to be close to that, that 10 key item mark.
Which might mean less temptation and just go do the grind immediately.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, that was Baron in out of this harp check. So Solaris is going to be sitting at 9 key items. I would be really tempted to at least do the tower key.
Yeah, that's rough. All right, here we go.
All right. So now we've got another round of music on the way. Thank you, Kedril, for that. So we've got some interesting party divergence going on here. We've got Ryben in the top right doing D Machine. And gonna look like full reflex strats. We've got Saradin in the bottom left, grabbed the crystal sword, has a Cecil, about to be greeted with this Rydia here on the moon. Solaris was checking chests, but didn't check the trident, so it didn't find the flame dog chest and didn't find the crystal sword.
Have you found a silk web yet?
Kedril, I know, found one on Ordeals. I don't know how many other people checked that chest.
Okay, so we might have a few people having to bounce a slow. I always consider just the action economy in the first round of Zemus fight when you have somebody as fast as Kane, because your agility sometimes just isn't really an option to manipulate into an ideal situation.
And that is something we really haven't found. We haven't found any agility manipulation gear. We haven't found a Drain Spear, I don't think. We haven't found a Curse Ring, Dwarf Axe. So that fight could still be a little dicey depending on how many levels you get in your D Machine. And if you're taking one of these white mages who are not getting slingshotted all the way up to white, you're going to have some levels.
Yeah, it's going to be a long road, which means he's going to have a lot of agility. Question is, can they make it, 48 that you need for one of the higher breakpoints?
42 would be the one.
42.
And Dryalizer is saying that somebody found a Drain Spear. Scythe Marshal confirming that Solaris has one.
Yeah, wondering if we'll see some shop checks for a Curse Ring.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing Sheridan doing right now, checking the aggregate shops. I don't know how many times we've had a Curse Ring hanging out in one of those. At least 2.
At least 2. You know, they bury him back there because it's behind this narrow little walkway with all these people blocking it. You know, it's inconvenience out of the way. Like, alright, you want Curse Ring, you're gonna have to work for it. Muscle your way through the crowd.
Kedril, armed with an Ice Brand, one-shots the Flame Dog, about to be rewarded with the Crystal Sword. Gotta be feeling good about that.
Yeah, it's gotta feel awesome. I saw one of our runners actually equip the Legend Sword, which, bless him.
Sometimes that's what you gotta do. It is technically a Holy Sword.
It is technically. Not wrong.
And look at Solaris, 9 key items, and right to Tower Battle.
And Rybon's grind is interesting, because he's doing it with 3 characters. I guess this makes sense since we don't need somebody to throw the life potion. And having 3 characters with low HP, that just makes it easier to heal up from the fires.
Yeah, this is really heads up, knowing your party order, knowing that, you know, the less actions and stuff like that, to just get Tella into the queue faster, less parrying, less, you know, all that stuff. This is really heads up play by Rybon.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see lower tower.
Yes, we've got
Plague.
So we've seen everybody but D-Lunars now for our Lunar Sparkles.
Which is my worst fight in the game, like, by a mile. I can't tell you how many races I've lost on the back of a D-Lunar mess up.
Yeah, that is, in some of those spots, D-Lunars can make you really regret going wherever the heck you went.
For sure. You know, in this seed, actually, a place that I really don't like seeing Rubicon is at music. Just because it's so hard to throw spells and actually make them stick in that location, so you have to just grind it into Fire 2 retaliations every single time. But luckily we had some levels before we actually had to go there.
And I believe Kedril had an Ice Brand equipped, so that definitely helped out a lot there.
Yeah,
now,
cut down a lot there.
Now, is this going to give... Oh, there's a duplicate Cecil. Is this Water Hag or Gauntlet? I believe this is Gauntlet. Yep.
There it is.
So is Solaris going to be rewarded here with a key item?
Let's hope so.
He is?
Hope so. Alright, that's going to be a faster grind.
That's a huge pickup for Solaris, especially with that Cecil. Not going to have to worry about going to nuke and white levels. Could just do a Trizerg with Kane, Cecil, and Sid.
Although Solaris, I think, skipped the chest, correct? That had a crystal sword? Or did I misread that?
No, he did, but he's got. I think Solaris has the light sword.
Light sword, yeah. So we've got some caster strats, we got some Zerker strats. Let's see if we'll have a hybrid in here too. Or if anybody's brave enough to take the 1200 like our friend Possum Morpheus is hoping for.
That would be tough. That would be. So that's one thing that I don't believe Ryben did, or if he did, I missed it. Who is in K value?
I also have not seen that yet.
We'll see if Solaris decides to give that a peek. Meanwhile, Kedril working through this this elements fight. The top of Zot about to get his Darkness Crystal. Saradin is working through the Alt Gauntlet. It's a decent chunk of XP, but you've got Atella. You've got you've got the two white mages. Probably not needing the XP. Definitely looking for a key item though.
And we haven't seen the pass yet, so everybody's going to have to go through this character check anyway at this point to finish the seed without the pass. So, no time to be made up here with a pass somewhere.
Yeah, Solaris probably not going to take this Rydia. And proves me wrong immediately.
Well, these things can happen.
I mean, they happen to me pretty frequently.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with Possum too, Rydia, for overpouring for the slingshot. It's a good call.
Molboy, in some instances, the Adamant probably would make up time. It really depends on who is sitting at K value or the Murasame altar for Adamant to make up time. If it's going to be something really rude in one of those spots, then, you know, it can definitely make up time to not have to do one of them, because that's a lot of health. But we're going to be seeing our runners taking on those spots post-grind, so it's not that it's just really dependent on what we're going to find there.
Yeah, it's hard too with half the cast, at least on stream, having the crystal sword as well. You're not going to benefit quite as handily from the item that you get out of the forge.
So Solaris is going to be doing the manipulation from within the giant. Didn't want to go back to the earth to set up the manipulation. So heading up, going to be following the chart. It is available. If you have been watching this, want to know what we're talking about here, you know, we do have the Discord. It has all the information that you could need. It has, you know, how to do some of these manipulations. A bunch of knowledgeable people who you've been seeing here in the chat, who, you know, can give some information. Maybe you want to start rolling seeds for yourself. You know, it's unfortunately too late to sign up for this event, but maybe we'll see you in the next one.
Definitely always looking for more people to join in on the fun. I know I did recently, and it's been a blast for me, so if you're thinking about it, check it out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Dwarf Castle was a bonk check for Saradin. That was a lot of time in that alt gauntlet just to get nothing.
Yeah, that's rough.
Saradin's heading down to the Fey March. Oh, that's interesting. So Solaris just opted for Mac Giants instead of D Machines. No, wait. No, he's still doing the manipulation. Never mind. I saw a Mac Giant on the screen.
Yeah, so did I. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, while you typically need more Mac Giants than you would D Machines, There are some instances lately where I've done a couple of runs where I've done Mac Giants instead of D Machines. Typically, if I've got 10 key items and I'm not slingshotting somebody, because you can have the Mac Giant earlier in the Giant. You don't have to come all the way to the end and then go all the way back out.
Yeah, that's part of it. And then also sometimes, you haven't found ethers or you haven't found other casters for Tella to leech from for D Machine, and it just takes a bit longer to, it's not as safe to do the D Machine. Whereas Mac Giants are pretty easy to handle. You pre-blink and fire away, basically. So I could see a Mac Giant grind, but with the parties that we have, I think we're probably pretty safe today to do D Machine.
Yep, as we're seeing the site come out from Tella now, trying to get enough MP. And it looks like we're going to have some dueling grinds going on. Solaris looks to have found his fight.
The best part of the seed, the dueling grinds. Oh, looks like we're going to see the cave.
If you came up here, I like doing this check. You kind of want to know what's ahead of you. What do you got to prepare for? Are you going to be able to get some XP for your fighters? Off of some of these fights. You may not have to do as many D Machines.
Yeah, we haven't seen a fair amount of free fights yet still. I think King Queen's still on the table. I think Officer Soldier still on the table. So we've got some options in terms of freebies.
Speak of Officer Soldier.
Ask for it, and here it is.
This is actually really interesting because if the Murasame altar is also free, Ceridan doesn't have to go to the Giant. Ceridan could do some lunar fights. Ceridan could do some trap chests. It's got a Crystal Sword Cecil.
And Ceridan, I think maybe they probably didn't loot the road to Feymarch since they went down there so late. They didn't get that coffin. So it'll probably be Stone with Tella.
Yeah, trying to get Tella back up. He's going to be low. Cecil's is in the cover position.
We got a raid from Jenica Strife. Thank you for joining us. We are roughly in the middle of our grind for most of our runners right now, and we are pretty much in go mode for just about everybody. We know where all of our objectives are, we have access to them, and we do have access to Z, so it's a sprint to the finish at the moment.
Yep, we did have a Darkness Crystal was gating 3 of our 5 objectives, and Wyvern was gating the Darkness Crystal. So Tower of Zot, super hard required, and gave all of our runners the path.
Yeah, and MTI commenting that we have off position Tella throwing stones that might take a little while to land. But they are using a nice strategy with cover Cecil.
Yeah, would have liked to have seen him in the back row to help with that.
Yes.
Another alternative here would just be to weak that officer.
Yeah, with 3 people going down, I think it's a good time to reset out and reevaluate. There we go. Move Tella in the middle spot. Give this another shot.
Jay Brunner in chat. I'm paid to talk, not count. But it looks like he's done. I'm not paid? Somebody said I was getting paid in memes.
Uh-oh. I can pay you in cringe.
Alright, I'll accept that.
Alright, so Rybon's finished, and I can't imagine Solaris is probably going to be too far behind. Like I said, with the 10 key items, it should go a lot faster.
And
go ahead.
Just pulled an Hourglass 3 as a reward for that D machine. So Rybon's officer fight is double free.
Yeah, very free. They should also have Fatal with Radia, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, Radia is more than online right now, level 56.
Have we seen Kane's agility yet?
That we have not seen. With in the level 50s, we're going to be seeing a very, very fast Kane. Saradin, though, got through. Rewarded with an Artemis bow. That's a nice pickup.
It is. Especially if they're aligned towards Zerker strats right now.
Absolutely. Make Rosa let her shoot things.
See, in the final fight, I actually like letting Porum shoot things, because if she goes down, it's not too much of a damage loss, and Rosa is a little bit bulkier, a little easier to keep up during the big bangs.
That I would agree with, actually. That is a good call. So is Saradin going to go do a grind, or is he going to go check out? He's going to go check out the Murasame altar. There's a lot of free fights, as we were saying beforehand, still available, and a number of root fights are off the table. He's not going to run into Golbez. He's not going to run into 4 of the 5 Lunar Sparkles. And if he runs into D-Lunars, he's got a Crystal Sword Cecil.
Yeah, I think this is a fine check. Gonna back row Cecil here. Get that glitch online. Very nice. Still lacking armor, it looks like, though, for Cecil.
Has a black belt.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, he was doing some things around. Has a diamond shield, has a black belt, so you know Cecil's gonna hit pretty decently. I mean, he's got a crystal sword. He's got to be hitting for a lot.
Right. We'll find Iridia, see if we chuck a party member. I would imagine no at this point.
Yep, and Solaris finishing up his grind. 53 levels for Iridia as well.
Oh, and proving me wrong as well. Huck the Porum, take the Iridia.
That's interesting. I mean, he might still be thinking do grind. Because he could still pull the pass out of this Murasame altar.
And he may actually be thinking about going hybrid instead of all Zerker, all reflect strats. So that can still work in his favor.
Yep, and Ryben is through cave value. And we're going to be seeing what the next opponent is as Saradin gives us a look. Solaris is heading out. Solaris was a blink and you miss it. Did somebody catch Kane's agility? Oh, there's a water hack.
Wow.
Wow, look at these objectives, ladies and gentlemen. With Wyvern gating the Darkness Crystal at the Magus Sister spot. Officer fight at Cave Bahamut. Raising the whale just because we got a Darkness Crystal. And a water hag in the Murasame altar.
Yeah, the unfortunate part for Saradin is they're still going to be short of the 10 key items, I think. Yeah, still a little bit short. So the upshot would have been if they had enough key items, they might just walk it down, use the rest of their sirens to grind out some dragons, maybe take the ribbon spot, and then skip grinding in the whale altogether. But I'm not sure that's going to be an option.
Yeah, it's a little tough. You don't need that much XP for Cecil and Kane to just start swinging and hitting things. We'll see what he's going to be doing here. Does have his crystal, though.
First runner on stream to get the crystal.
Yep, still needs a grind, which Ryben, right behind him, about to be greeted with the water hag, has already completed his grind, so is going to be coming in here in 3 hits and done.
Yeah, we're looking at going into this fight at 56 minutes, grind already done. This is going to be a very fast seed.
Yeah, because this is a walk down and done. We're going to be looking at reflect strats for Ryben. Anna just, telling us how dirty we are, calling us mud. Kedril is still working on his D-Machine grind. I think sitting at 9. Yeah, sitting at 9 key items, unfortunately, for Kedril. Didn't go and do the tower check like Solaris did.
Yeah, I think that tower check is gonna... I mean, it saves Solaris a lot of time.
Absolutely. It's going to allow him to really catch up. You know, he's one boss fight behind. He's got the coffin, so getting through... So he could still catch up. This is going to be Reflect versus Berserker strat, it looks like, possibly.
I think so. And we do get a Bacchus Wine out of the Water Hag fight, so having a Zerker party, that does get you online a little bit faster, or at least recover from a clear a little bit faster. It'll be interesting to see this last fight pop off.
Yep, meanwhile, Saradin is going to go and explore a little bit more, possibly. What are you looking for, Saradin? Ethers?
Looks like it. Ask and you shall find.
That is, you can't do the D machine without the ethers. I mean, you could, but
definitely not ideally. That 10 key items. This should make things a lot nicer for Saradin doing the grinds. And we've got Rybon walking down, and Solaris will be quickly behind him once they make their stop at Warasame Altar.
yeah, having that stop there at the top, really, you know, it's out of the way, yes, but able to just get your crystal and go is really convenient, really nice.
So at this point, I would imagine it's going to take a wipe from Rybon to make this a photo finish on stream. But what do you think?
I'm in agreement. I think this is Rybon's restream race to lose right now. Keep in mind, though, we do have a good number of other runners going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we're up to 50 entrants in tonight's race.
It's a lot of entrants.
Yep, we do have, you know, tonight we have 2 more qualifiers, and then the top 64 runners will move on to the next round. There will be a draft to see who's going to be put where against who. Really exciting time here as we wind down this qualifier portion of Highway to the Zemus Zone 4, and we've got Rybon walking down in the lunar subterrane, looking to fight against Aromas. Thank you, Niabari. We got a Z flag in the chat. We can't randomize where Zemus is. He's too big. He's too powerful. He's too ugly. But we can make him look better. And we'd like to ask her a question here in the commentary booth. And since it is your first time up here, Araya, would you like to do the honors?
Yeah, I'm going to go old school. I'm going to say, whose butt are we going to kick today?
This is the question, though. Not only whose butt, but why is butt? Why must we kick this butt?
Well, I think we could think of reasons for really any of these opponents that we face. And Possum pointing out that they did set battle speed to 6 on Rybon, which is always ideal for reflex strats. Something I always mean to do and forget to do going into reflex strats, so good on them for remembering. And I still haven't seen the agility, so I'm still scared. Let's see how many shakes we get.
Yeah, this could be really scary. Solaris, meanwhile, crystal in hand, right behind Rybon on stream, heading down to the bottom of Lunar Subterrane. Kedril finished his grind and is heading to the moon.
So we're going to see half the health that Rybon needs to chew through, but they're on battle speed 6. I don't think Solaris is going to need to throw down their battle speed at all since they're using Zerker strats. So I'm wondering who actually chews through this health pool faster.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, that I like to go even with Zerker strats. I tend to go battle speed 2 myself, just because I'm not that good. But
I'm right there with you.
but yeah, the reflect strats with this, depending on Kane, how speedy he is. Yeah, that was
I missed it.
It was 58, I think.
Threw the drain spear on.
Now see, this butt doesn't have a butt.
Now this is interesting. They made Rosa the Zerker with Artemis Bow. If you're going primarily a Zerker strat, would you still make Rosa your archer, or would you just make it Rydia instead?
I mean, even if you're going with reflect, sorry, wrong screen. Even if you're going Zerk, it still doesn't hurt to throw the nukes out.
True. Alright, we got some slows down on Rybon's screen.
Man, Rydia took that counter nuke like a boss. Only 800 damage.
Yeah, not bad. With the levels that she has, she'll probably live through this. No problem.
Krista Jack, there are over 500 sprites that we can be in there, and one of the only people who's seen all of them is our art person Scala Kitty, and so they would be able to answer that. And I don't believe Scala's around to do that right now, so we won't know. We'll just have to keep watching, and hopefully maybe the answers will come to us.
We see Cudgel right now finishing up their officer-soldier fight. So they'll be one step away from Crystal in inventory. And I imagine Ceridan's probably coming pretty close to closing out their grind.
Yeah, should be wrapping up any moment here for Ceridan, and then just has to race right back down to the bottom of LST. Nerf Big Bang for Ryben.
Very nice. Always a fan of the Nerf Big Bang.
Yeah, I haven't been counting because I said earlier I'm not up here to count, so I don't know where we're at in this fight to see if I know we've got lots of reflects going on. You need about 7 to 10 depending on rolls of spells, I think.
Yeah, we ought to be pretty close right now for Rybon.
Meanwhile, we've got nuke coming out for Solaris. That was the counter nuke. We've got Cecil swinging. Tella tried to heal for Ryben. Still needed Porum to kind of cover for him.
Well, he's doing his best. He's made it all the way up to the moon at his age. That's impressive. Not everybody can handle those G's getting off the planet.
With how big the lunar whale is in comparison, because it looks like it's bigger than the castle. Yeah, I think the G's are probably handled. Ryben just looking for this, I believe we saw Shake. Ooh, this is interesting. So Solaris is still reflecting.
Oh, very interesting.
I don't know if Solaris' Cecil is Berserk or not, but still reflecting. Yep, looks like Berserk. Oh, that was a rough Big Bang, though.
Yeah, this should be pretty close. Rybon, I think, should be fine to recover.
Meanwhile, we've got Kedril, who is catching up, has the Water Hag fight. Going to be getting his crystal here shortly.
That'll be our last stream runner in Go mode. We're in with the crystal in inventory.
Really well played by everybody. Go mode for everybody was found, you know, pretty on par.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody just after an hour. That's a fast performance.
Yeah, and you know, a tribute to our restreamer Alska424. Alska can only roll 2 types of seeds: really, really jet seeds, or really, really, really sloggy seeds. And tonight, got the jetty one.
I had heard that. I heard that might be the case.
Ryben, though, with the win on our restream. 1 hour, 7 minutes, 29 seconds, 3rd overall in the qualifier. GG's to Ryben, and we will see about getting him in here for an interview. And with that ding, that means we are joined. Ryben, GG's.
Thank you very much. Very fun seed.
I was gonna say, how are you feeling about that? You know, seeing those objectives, and then what made you decide to go for Zot when you did?
Well, we found the Earth Crystal pretty early, at least I did, and I was pretty low on character at that particular moment, so I figured that I had enough damage to handle it. I had, you know, that early coffin on Kane, that early coffin on the egg, got decent enough levels for Kane and Porum, got that Berserk. I figured, well, that's probably enough to take whatever the city at Zot 1, and then hopefully I get like an edge successful with somebody at Zot 2. Turned out to be Tella, unfortunately. Sorry to everyone who had to watch all that D-Machine grinding, but it ended up working out, I suppose.
It absolutely did. You were, you made the play for Zot. You were the first one on the restream to do so. Everybody else was actually going up ordeals at the time. So we had seen, I can't remember if it was Saradin or Solaris, who had just finished that CPU fight as you were finishing up the elements, and it was like, oh, let's see what this is, and hopefully it's a big long chain to get that darkness crystal, and it was not.
A very short chain indeed.
So how were you feeling when you found Crystal right after Zot, and you were, you know, essentially in Go mode very quickly in, having found Wyvern also, I think, on Zot, is that correct? Was that straight panic mode, or were you feeling pretty confident going through it?
I felt that the Zot play may be a little unorthodox at that particular time, so I felt a little ahead. I was still a little panicky though, because, well, my party wasn't fantastic. You know, I think I had Sid, Kane, Tella, Rosa, and Forum at that moment, with no gear for anybody at all. That treasury, other than the 2 heroine robes, wasn't exactly what I was looking for. So wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do for my particular Z fight at that particular moment. I did check Moon, found Ridian, and that pretty much solidified Reflect strat. I'm not sure. I'm sure there was someone better in the scene, maybe an Edge was hiding somewhere, or a Cecil that I never found. I never checked Baron in. There might have been something there, but yeah, I was in a little panic mode, but I felt a little ahead, and I was lucky enough to have bought Ethers underground, I believe, at Baymarch prior to finding Tella. So it was just a quick jump into D-Machines and see what I can do on the moon.
And we actually did find Cecil. He was waiting for you in the Baron Inn. And some of our runners even found the crystal sword from the Flame Dog chest in Zot. So definitely missed out on a little bit of power, Cecil, but I mean, you got through it cleanly either way.
Yeah, the V fight was a little not exactly what I'm used to. BAs, or yeah, Battle Speed 6 Reflect strats aren't exactly what I try to do all the time, so I kind of wish I picked up that Cecil now in the Crystal Sword. It would have made things quite a bit quicker.
Yeah, was there any thought about hunting for 10 key items once you completed ordeals?
I think I had 7 at that point, and looking at what was available, like the music, Baron Inn, a few things on Moon, I didn't feel like I had enough power to handle anything on Moon at that particular moment. Baron wouldn't have taken that long, but that would have only gotten me to 8. So I felt like, nope, this is it. This is my life now. I'm doing 18 or 19 D-Machine. Sorry, everybody.
At least one of us was counting, because I know I wasn't. But it definitely worked out for you. We did have a runner who did Harp and Baron in and was sitting at 9 key items before, and took that tower key that they found and got the 10th one. So they were able to catch up to you just by not having to do that long of a grind. But still, you know, you pulled it through, you hung in there, and you did really well. You've been doing very well in this event. And I believe this is your first event other than the Pink Puff League, correct?
That's correct. I started racing about 4 months ago. Pink Puff League was just about all I did prior to this, and a bunch of ladder too. So first tournament.
Well, you've been representing the Pink Puffs very well. We were talking about where people are ranked. I believe you're in the top 20 right now. This win will definitely raise you quite a bit more. So hopefully you've got one of your 4 scores that you were hoping to get rid of.
Yeah, hopefully. I look forward to the update.
And sorry to interrupt, looks like we've got a GG for Solaris as well. At 1 hour, 12 minutes, 27 seconds.
Good enough for 11th place.
Yeah, very fast runners on the stream today.
Well, Ryben, thank you for volunteering to be restream. Araya, do you have anything else for Ryben?
I think that's it for me. Definitely an awesome race run, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks, Asuka, Araya, Bad Karma, Scythe Marshall, everybody for putting on the restream, and see you around. Later.
Cheers.
Have a good one. That was our 3rd place winner, Ryben, who was first on the restream. GG's to him, and we'll be seeing about getting Solaris in here, who just wrapped up his Z fight.
And while we're waiting for that, looks like Ceradan is done with their grind, also on their way down to March to Zemus. So we're going to wrap up pretty early on stream, it looks like, today.
Yeah, we've already got Kedril, who's been going hard on his Rum's fight. Crystal Sword Cecil swinging away. Icebrand Kane not doing quite as much, but still contributing. This is mostly going to be Crystal Sword Cecil's show for Kedril. And we're joined by Solaris. Solaris, GG's.
Hello, thank you.
How you feeling about that one?
Did you enjoy that train wreck of a Zemus fight? That's how I'm feeling about it.
You recovered perfectly fine. First time, every time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when was the power couple ever failed you?
I guess never, actually. I mean, they probably have, but not this time.
Not this time. And that's what matters.
Indeed. Having a crystal sword would have been nicer, which apparently was in this seat, but, you know, it's fine.
Speaking of, yeah, there was one in the Flame Dog chest that unfortunately you passed by.
That's what I hear.
That probably would have speeded things up for you a little bit, but nevertheless, you were our only runner, I think, that got to 10 key items pretty quickly before you did your grind, and you caught up a lot of time by visiting that lower tower check first before going to do the grind. How did you feel about making that call?
While I was on the way, I was thinking I actually should have checked. Well, okay, so it's either you do that, and then when that's not a key item, you've just wasted time, or just see. I mean, that party had ways through Cave Value and the Murasame altar. Really, I'd check the Murasame altar first, because if that gave a key item, which it didn't, because I was thinking, like, I just needed the crystal for my 10th key item, so there was kind of some awkward tension there, but I mean, it didn't really matter in the end of the day, because once I found Wyvern, I was like, oh, you're just supposed to go to Zod, and then the seed's like, over, got it.
Yeah, and that is what Ryben did. That was his first check, was Zod, pretty much.
Yeah, and I thought about it. I thought about it, and I was like, well, I did spend a lot of... I probably spent too much time early game looting and powering up. I mean, something that you want to think about when you play these seeds is that as like, especially when you get like a magma start, you want enough power to be able to get through, let's like the first 5 chucks or whatever, and then you kind of just want to do those. Because you might get an earth crystal or something that leads you to power where the looting and the shopping suddenly don't end up mattering. That's sort of what happened this seed. That really slowed me down early. I mean, it could have played out very differently, but I could have gotten the information first, or just like I see ways I could have played that very differently. But given what I'd chosen to do, I was powerful enough to do Zot pretty early, and I just sort of chose not to do that. So, I don't know. I mean, just one of those things. Darkness could have really been literally anywhere, and that was the primary thing. With these objectives, that was really the thing we were looking for.
Yeah, we were trying to curse it for you guys, and, you know, as soon as, you know, right before Ryben, because Ryben was the first one on Restream who found Darkness Crystal, we were saying we really wanted to be deep and buried behind Demus at King Queen, who has the hook. With the rat tail turn in, but unfortunately, as soon as we said that, the seed had other ideas.
Yeah, that would have been great. I would have also been happy for it to be behind the Baron key, because no one was going to do a harp that early. Or even like top a tower, though we had the tower key, but I mean, I don't know, it could have at least justified some of the early looting I did. That's okay though. Sometimes you just get this kind of seed. And that provides its own challenge.
Well, you still ran an excellent race. You know, second on the restream tonight, 11th overall, really well done. I know I don't want to run against you in the next round, so definitely keep your eyes on Solaris. He's been doing very excellent. I think you were ranked 5 going into this one.
I was ranked 5 with well, Dusty unfortunately has, for life reasons, dropped out of CZ4. That's put me at 4th at the moment, unofficially, but we'll see kind of what happens at the very end of things. But I'm very happy with I'm very, very, very happy with my run. It's been a really good time. I've enjoyed it.
Well, glad to have you on the stream today. Definitely a good effort, and you know, like it's been said, 11th place finish, still very solid. So I'd imagine you'll still be up there towards the top of the running, and maybe get yourself into a draft spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely, that is for sure going to be a thing. I'm definitely going to be drafting. I have no idea how I'm going to be choosing my draft, but I know I've made my top 16, and that was my goal. And otherwise, yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you to the Restream team. Thank you for comms and tracking. It's always appreciated very much. And yeah, with that, I think I'll head on out of here.
Sounds good. GG's.
GG, Slayers. We'll see you soon.
Thanks so much. Bye.
And with that, we just had Kedril finish at 1 hour, 19 minutes, 13 seconds. And looks like we've got them in for an interview. Hello.
Hi, sorry I was muted.
All good. How you feeling about that one?
Pretty good about that one. I mean, it's certainly better than the other 3 that I did, so hopefully that makes a difference for me.
Yeah, you did really well. It was a very you could have gone a lot of ways. You followed the same path as, you know, everybody else in the Restream. Only you and one other runner found that crystal sword. How are you feeling when you checked that flame dog chest?
I kind of just did it as a meme, like I sort of harkening back to when we were doing a lot of 2v2s, and then it was always flame dog have a key item or something like that. So I wanted to just check it, and then it ended up being the very last chest, and I was like, oh, of course, I probably shouldn't even bother, but I was already so far into it, and then it was a crystal sword, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's the only thing that's going to save me later on.
Yeah, I mean, and you made good use of it.
Yeah, the Zed fight was pretty rough for me. I probably should have tried to have just found one more key item before I did my D-Machine grind, but I didn't, and then I think I came out just a little bit less than what I would have preferred. But it was a bit long, but it ended up working out.
But it was enough, and that's what mattered today.
Yeah, the silk web on Ordeals was pretty clutch, so...
Yeah, absolutely. So you took that crystal sword, you punched your way through the top 20. An hour and 19 minutes, very fast seed.
Yeah,
how'd
it
you feel about
was.
that,
It was
Jack?
a pretty jetty seed. I mean, there's like you said, there was a lot of ways you could have gone. Like I never chased down that Baron key or anything else on the moon besides the required stuff.
Yeah, that was a common thing for the restream. We didn't see Baron. We didn't see any other moon fights. We did see the tower key, and that blue robe, as you saw from Zot, was the alt gauntlet. Now that you've seen the water hag. Dwarf Castle did not have a key item. The tower key did. We did have a runner. Solaris did get 10 key items.
Oh, nice.
Made the D machine a little bit faster for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were sitting at 9. It looks like before your D machine. How were there any thoughts of maybe doing some additional checks before going up to the moon?
Well, the honest thing is, I was hoping that I was at like 7 key items or something, but then when I actually got in there and checked and it said 9, I was like, oh, well, that really sucks. But I was already in there, so I figured I could just get through it. I ended up making a mistake and not taking that heroine robe off of Rosa to begin with, so I had to pause every so often to do some heals with Tella, which slowed it down quite a bit. And then again, my early game is usually like a lot of shop checking for items, so that way I don't have to run around afterwards. And of course, I didn't even utilize any of the information I pulled, like Cure 3s and Second Troya shop. Would have been pretty helpful for some of the Zed fight as well.
Yeah, some of the early shopping can be really good depending on what you can find. And it you did well with the seed. You didn't make any real missteps or anything. You handled everything really well. So coming in the top 50% of any of these races is always a fantastic finish. So I hope you feel really good about your finish here tonight.
No, I definitely do.
With that finish, I imagine that's going to move you up the scoring a little bit. How many more of these qualifiers do you think you're planning on doing?
This is probably it. I mean, tomorrow's the last day, and I got a jam-packed day, so I was glad I was able to squeeze this one in. Because I think tomorrow's the last day, isn't it, for qualifiers?
Yes, both of the last 2 qualifiers are tomorrow, one at 1 and one at 7.
Excellent. Well then, I'll be hoping to slide into some form of place there and make it to the next stage.
Well, we'll be rooting for you, and definitely a well-run race tonight.
Thank you, and thank everyone for hosting the Ream stream there, and for the commentary.
Thank you for volunteering. Thank you for showing up, putting on a good show for us to talk about. It was like I said earlier, very well done race. You did really well. So hopefully we can see you move on.
Thank you very much. Hope you all have a good night.
You too.
You too.
So on.
So we've got our last runner here in the Zemus fight, which we should be closing out pretty soon. Now, what I'm curious about with the seed is where was Demas? Because we've seen it a couple times with the ending now, with the spoiler log. It looks like Adamant was hidden behind the pan check, which was hidden behind Demas.
Yeah, and we did not see Demas right anywhere. So unless somebody wants to boot that seed back up and start slogging through some boss fights to tell us, I don't think we will know. But there's our white. There's the crumble. Saradin has finished with 1 hour, 25 minutes, 36 seconds. GG to Saradin. We'll see about getting him in here.
Yep, absolutely. GG to Saradin, our final finisher on stream.
And with that, we're joined by Saradin. Saradin, GG's.
Thank you.
How you feeling about that one?
Reasonable. Dwarf Castle and Fey March for mistakes. I should have just gone to the moon immediately. But other than that, I felt like I played it reasonably well.
Yeah, it was, you ran it really well. Everybody on the restream actually all kind of had the same sort of path going through there. You were the first one on restream to find that crystal sword. Tell us how you were feeling when you checked that flame dog chest.
That was pretty nice. I looted the treasury, and it's like, there's nothing great here in terms of weapons, so we'll try trap chests on the way up. It gets used to a little boost of experience. It's like, oh, well, that's the perfect thing to find for him.
Yeah, not only the first person to crystal sword, but also the first person on stream to get the crystal itself. Unfortunately, we already had a couple of runners that were very deep into their grind and right on your heels to chase those down. But still finishing in the top half of runners today, all of our restreamers finishing in the top half, so very well done.
Yeah, so when you got that crystal, were you always just thinking D Machine, or did you maybe consider going and taking some of the moon fights or some of the trap chests along the way with that crystal sword Cecil in hand?
I had considered doing behemoths on the way down in Cave Bahamut, but decided not to until I'd seen who was there. But after I picked up the Tela and saw it, was just like, this is really set up for D machines. And then when I got to swap out Rydia for Porum, it's like I could just slingshot her and be done with it.
Yeah, that's what we were curious on the swap there, and that really told us you were thinking D Machine. With that slingshot, that was a popular pickup here on the restream. I think all but one runner did take that Rydia for that slingshot.
Yep, we were proven wrong every time.
So how are you feeling about your standings? We have our final two qualifiers tomorrow. Are you planning to run in either of those?
Probably not the evening one. We'll see how I feel about the morning one. I think I'm pretty solidly in the mid-30s at this point, so unlikely that I get to top 16 or get knocked out of them, so I might just sit on it. We'll see.
Hey, mid-30s is no slouch. We've had over 100 entrants in this event, and being in the the top quarter is an achievement in and of itself. So you've been running some excellent races, though. I don't know if I'd want to run into you in the next round.
It's a high compliment there. Thanks.
So on that note, how are you feeling? You're feeling like you can make the second round, or are you kind of looking at that the top 64? Anybody you'd like to face, or are you hoping that you get drafted against?
Haven't really thought about it at this point. It's not really in my hands, so we'll see where I get placed. See who decides to put me somewhere.
Sometimes that's all you can hope for, right? Just pick me up and let's get this done.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, very GG's, very well run today. Do you have any comments that you'd like to get out there?
Nope. Thanks to the Restream team for putting this on. It's always a great opportunity. I'll have to go back and watch the VOD after and do some comparisons.
Yeah, it was really, really well run race. You have a lot of things that you can look at, but I didn't see really anything wrong. It just so happened the Dwarf Castle play didn't pan out literally, because that's what you would have needed, I think, to kind of speed things up. But otherwise, I think you ran it excellently.
Thanks.
And we'll be GG's again. We'll be seeing you soon, hopefully.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks again.
And with that, I think we can announce our top 6 finishers for the day. Is that right?
That is correct. If you want to go ahead and do the honors.
Sure thing. So in first place, we had Direwolf. Second place, Plumeria Knight. Third place, of course, on Restream, we had Rybon. Fourth was Decker Smash. Fifth, Frankie Bones. And number 6 was Tybalt.
GG's to the 6 of them. And on that note, we are done with our broadcast here tonight. We do still have some runners out there who are running this race. If you do go and watch them, please make sure you're not spoiling the race. We, however, are going to be taking you over to RPG Limit Break. They are doing some Dragon Warrior randomizer for their fall event. So let's go and cheer on. I don't know who is currently racing, but let's go cheer them on. RPG Limit Break is going to be hosting a number of our Highway to the Zemus Zone 4 races here shortly. So please give the channel some love, show some support, and I'm Bad Karma. Thank you, Aska424 for the restream, and Scythe Marshall for tracking, and Araya, your first commentary. Hopefully you felt good about it, and we'll be seeing you up here more.
Yep, it's on the books. Thanks for having me. Thanks for taking me through my first run, and thank you all for participating. It's been a blast.
We'll see everybody over at RPG Limit Break. You all have a good night.